all the places through time and space and planes of existences. We're gonna start this way.
Yeah.
My name is Sonia G.
Yep.
I am known as Starborn Human on the Instagrams, on the internets, and all the places. And if you want my full name, to Google me, because you might after this combo, it's Sonia G. Godfrey. Okay? We are here. This is the title of my talk. I'm going to lead with this because this is often something that, as spiritual, amazing, incredible, ancient souls, sensitive beings of light that we are, we don't associate these things. This is the title: Making Millions in a Spiritual Business, Turning Your Divine Inheritance into Cash Flow.
Nice.
How do you feel about that? Everybody knows we have divine inheritance.
Yeah.
We feel good about turning it into cash flow, right? On the planet. We're here living on planet Earth. Money is a great resource for all of us. So, I'm going to define myself, try to define myself in human terms. I think of myself as a rebel, as a just absolute rebel of higher consciousness, as a revolutionary of light. I am clear that my soul, my spirit, came on this planet to defy the construct of this reality and to ground in the higher vibrational experiences into the grid works of our planet that we're all here to experience, that our souls, our spirits yearn for. And my work has now, I've been public in my work, I've been online for 9 years. I have a website, I have a deck of cards, I have an app you can download. I have what many people think of as made it on the internet, right? Living the American dream, especially because I come from Italy. I grew up in Italy, and I came here by myself with this dream. My work started with the moon, and the moon cycles, and feminine remembrance, and the stars, and the astrology, and the Reiki, and the Theta healing, and the NLP, and all of the beautiful arts, and understanding that there's more to our superpowers than what we're capable of utilizing. And now, as of this year, the work of my soul has been about bringing the embodiment of the divine human on the planet. This is biological resurrection. Okay, we're getting very technical, but as we do this, right, we're here for this light body transmutation. We're here because we know, right? We know our body is turning into a light body, and we're turning into the divine humans. We're doing the work, we're clearing the old belief systems, the patterns, we're rewiring, we're forgiving, we're letting go, so much more letting go, so much more surrendering, right? We're going through these cycles of clearing so that what's left is light and our higher consciousness. Well, I've discovered that there are stages of this. After light comes flame. After flame comes the crystalline light body, the way that we actually envision as the transfigured body, a body that moves multidimensionally, a body that travels through different planes of existences, a body that, it's going to go have the experiences that right now we have in the astral planes, or our medicine journeys, or our amazing breath work journeys, because we get high on our breath all the time. So we have this opportunity, and we're moving that way. Science is even moving that way. Technology is moving that way, but we're going to do it with the technology of our physical body. So I know this sounds so far out in the sense, it's like, oh my gosh, she's talking about like resurrection. But really, this is where we're going. We want to start thinking this way. Why don't we? Why don't we have this at the forefront? Why are we not thinking about like our DNA plugging into our brain, where all of the spaces in our brain, all of our dormant DNA, like actually being activated and alive and expressed? Because what's on our mind a lot? Money. Do we think that money is like, hi, welcome? Do we feel like, we have a lot of things that have to do with money in our world, right? It's like, well, I would, but, I'm gonna wait till that paycheck. Or like, well, construct of this world. We understand this. We're higher light beings. We're spiritual beings. And so money is just one of the energies of this world, right? We all, I know that we know this as spiritual entrepreneurs. We understand this. You all have amazing talents and gifts. You're here because your spirit came through in this very epicenter of time. We're here to really change the consciousness of the world. And you're here doing it, and something about it requires the resources to do it, right? You have great missions, great purposes. Even if you haven't quite put like words to it yet, you have great missions and great purposes. And so money is a thing that's going to be necessary. I think we need to demystify it in many ways and actually make it normal. Normalize light workers, ancient souls, sensitive beings, spiritual entrepreneurs, making millions on the planet. Like, why are we not? Why is everybody else, right? Like, so this is where I'm at. Because if we, go here with me for a second, if we had limitless amounts of money, where would your heart be at? What would you be doing? You would be doing amazing things that change the planet. You would be doing the same thing. You would be out there doing the grid work, activating the sites, doing the sound healings, right? You'd be talking to crystals, like working with rivers, like you'd be doing the same things, except you'd be more. You'd have more impact. You'd have more people whose lives are going to change. What's the difference? You're still going to be you. Money is going to amplify how amazing and how awesome you are. Is going to amplify your mission. Right? So I'm here to tell you that this is a thing and you can do it. And I never thought that it was possible, but here I am, over $2 million, right? And it's like, and I teach, do you know what I teach in the world? Astral travel. The wildest, yeah, Trisha's like, hallelujah. The wildest thing. We were like, what do you teach? I teach such higher consciousness that we actually get to like, be very grounded in this body and then go on the astral planes and do some recon to remember who we are and our lives before this lifetime on earth. Not just back to the days of, the witches, not just back to Egypt. I am talking all the way back, right? We go all the way through to Andromeda Galaxy. We go all the way through to all the star systems. I am that person. I teach, I'm a galactic way shower. I make the way for people. Which sounds so weird, but do you know what's, unless you do it, but do you know what's the coolest thing? And my mentor Gary will tell you this too, but everybody that has ever been successful in our world at doing any kind of healing, any kind of miracles, any kind of healing, anything that actually shifts your state of being, what do? What do? We bring subconscious into the conscious, right? Because what does our subconscious do? Runs our reality. It's all the stories in our subconscious, all that's recorded in our chakras, all the beliefs, everything in our blood, all of the inherited diseases that now we know we don't need to inherit them anymore because we can change those contracts, we can rewrite those codes. But all of those, right, add up to our subconscious. Our blood records every thought, every emotion. Right? Like we have a subconscious system in our body that's running the background. Anytime we can tap into the subconscious and we can figure out what programs are running that are creating these scenarios, that are creating the heartbreaks, that are creating the survival, that are creating, this always happens to me, right? Whatever it is. Every time we can tap into the subconscious, figure out what that is, bring it into conscious, and have fun with it, we are winning at life, right? Like, we're winning at life because now we identify, we're aware. Oh yeah, this comes from my childhood. I can see that this is a thing, right? I can see where these traumas come from. And I'm talking about these very lightly, but these are very big things. But I'm speaking of them this way because once you've healed, you tell the story. You don't tap into the energy of that trauma. And I've done a lot of work. I have done over, oh my God, almost 3 decades 2 decades of work with my mentor, Gary, okay? I started the Gary's work in 2007, so I'm practically an adult in Gary's work. I'm a whole grown-up. And we do the healing, and now we look at these stories, and we look at these situations and circumstances that we experienced in order to blossom through who we are and what our soul came to be on the planet. And we're here telling the story of it. So even though it's heavy and there's so much in there, because all light workers, right, like had childhoods that fiercely defined them. And I say light workers broadly, right? But it happens, yeah, to all of us, because we have to awaken our gifts. And if we're not challenged very often, we forget, right? We get a little complacent, a little comfortable, like, you know, red pill or the blue pill. Sometimes we might choose the other one because it's like, yeah. So we had to move through all of these things. We brought our subconscious to the conscious. First we became aware, yes, there's some trauma, there's some things, right? My nervous system really reacts to this. Like I short circuit when this situation happens because this and this happened. So now we do the work and we clear that out, right? And we tell a new story. We tell a new story, we reprogram our beliefs. And we reprogram it in such a way that our emotions, our thoughts, our beliefs, and our actions all get in alignment. That's alignment. That's when we manifest the shit out of life. And I know that a lot of people are, sorry, I also cuss. I'm gonna attempt not to very much, but like I'm a cussing person. Because sometimes we just have to say things with the energy that they come through, right? Okay? So are we with me? When things are telling you, no, you can't, because this is how you grew up. No, this is not possible for you. It's possible for everybody else, but it's not possible for you, right? Like when your subconscious is running these, when the negative voice in your mind, when whatever you're calling it, your ego, not the highest vibe in your mind, right? We have all these ways of calling it. But when something is, and the voice in your head is telling you, you can't do something, that it's not for you, you're not worthy, that you're not enough, that they're gonna forget about you, that they're gonna leave you alone, that if you show up and shine, oh my God, you're gonna die, right? Like, if you actually speak your truth, if you show up on the internet in 2017 telling everybody that they can go access the astral planes and talk to their loved ones on the other side or receive revelations and meet their higher self and take them on the astral plane, you're gonna die. Like, that's what I thought. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. Everybody's gonna be like, what is she talking about? Like, she has lost her mind. She has started doing drugs. And like, we have lost her completely, right? And then you do it anyways. And then you do it anyways. And when you do it anyways, you learn that you just go through the fear, right? What is the acronym for fear? False evidence appearing real. It's very true, okay? Fears have served a great purpose in our lives. They have. A lot of times, like, you know, we have fear of touching the fire. That is good. That is serving us. We do not get burnt, right? But so, there's fears and fears, but a lot of times these are constructs, right? So once we learn to see through them, it's like, you know what, I see the fear and I'm gonna do it anyways. And obviously you wanna be supported through this. You want to have the skills. You want to have the mindset, the abilities, like, as Gary, this is a straight quote from Gary. Life is a function of skills, right? Depending on where you're at, what skills you have, you're able to move through life in a different way. If you have a little baby boat and you're in a storm in the seas, high seas, you're gonna navigate that in a certain way. If you have a nice, stable yacht and you're in a storm, you're gonna navigate that storm a different way, right? So, depending on the level of skills, the things that might seem unsurmountable all of a sudden feel like, you know what? I have the perspective of my higher self, my divine self, my eternal self. I can see this from a different perspective. I can see that there's another way. I can see a way to pierce through this reality, and I can see how my thoughts can think different. My feelings can feel different. My actions, my words and my actions can be different. They can all be in what? Coherence. right? They can all be in alignment. When that happens, that's the magic of manifestation. Manifestation is not wishing. Manifestation is divine architecture. Because we want all the resources that we have, which are our feelings, which are our mind, our health, right? All of our energetic resources to support us. And what is energy? What's another word for energy? Energy is money. Money is energy. We are friends with energy. We love energy. Why do we not love money? Right? Like, where did that come from? Who has ever heard money is the root of all good things on the planet? What comes to mind?
I've never heard that.
I know, because I'm probably the first person that's going to say that.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. Because what did we grow up with?
Root of all evil.
Money is the root of all evil. I wonder what kind of society consciousness that put us in, right? That was so worked out. That was like, all of the systems believe, like the shadow people behind the scenes that are pulling strings and, and all the greater pictures of this reality. Because we're here in duality, so there's team light, right? Family of light, family of dark. Like, we know this is the nature of our world. We're gonna do our piece, and we're gonna show up, and we're gonna do it at 100%, because that's the shit we came for. Mm-hmm. So, we know that there's things. We know that there's frequency targeting. Like, we know, like, conspiracy theories, we understand that they're actually, like, what's happening on the planet. We understand this now. So, and if some of this is like, wait, what is she saying? Just see where it fits. See where you land with it. See if you get something out of this today. But now that we understand this, right, and if we understand that it is our job to actually rewire, to pierce through this reality construct that has been made by people that have told stories for millennia, like money is the root of all evil, like we came to change that. That's the stuff that pisses me off. Like, why? Why? Because there was a guy at some point in Rome that decided they should organize the calendar year, they should organize, teachings into a church, and that people should pay, and that they should not talk to God, because God was going to be removed from the people. Right? And there were churches that were put in the middle of the connection. So there was man, there was church, and then there was God. You had to go through the church to talk to God. Like, can we see how many distortions are in our reality? But now that we know that, these are distortions. Do we choose to believe that that's still true? I don't think so. Like, I think the time for that is done, right? In our world, family of light, money is the root of amazing, good, powerful, beautiful, life-changing things. I mean, if we had the resources, if we had the money, wouldn't you be doing amazing things? I know you would be. Wouldn't you be helping others? Yeah. Instead of sucking the life force energy out of them in like a 9-to-5, and like taxing them and all that? Like, yes, I know. Because we have a different mission. We have a different purpose. So this is a conversation about, it's time for this wealth transfer to actually happen, right? And for the people that are here to change the planet, to anchor in new principles of light, to make new resources available for everybody, here to change the world. It is time for us to make millions. It really is. So we're going to go through, I have some notes, and I'm going to tell you this. This is me, this is my Instagram. I have built something incredible. If you want to follow my riffs and my teachings, everything, at Starborn Human on Instagram. And actually, I'm going to tell you this. In the lobby, I ran into somebody that I've known for a long time, and he said, "What's the coolest thing that's happened to you just like very recently?" And I said, "You know what? There's this magazine for women entrepreneurs online called Goss Magazine, and they interviewed me and they put a billboard of me on Sunset Boulevard in LA with my name and my brand. And that's this right here. You can see it. Thank you. I know it's pretty amazing. So that's me with on a billboard.
What does the billboard say?
I know. I wish I could. I don't have the scroll. This is not my screen. They just pulled it up. Yeah. But the billboard says Goss, which stands for Goddess Boss.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
and Sonia G. Godfrey, and then my Starborn Human. And it's me with a crown, right? With a beautiful crown at the Salt Flats. And this is the first time somebody that's not like in a business suit, right, that is here talking about these things. Like, we have got to bridge these worlds, right? So usually, generally speaking, my attire is more ceremonial. Like, I love the ceremony. I'm usually found with crystals on my head, right? But also I can rock a suit, like, and, you know, put some feather earrings on, we're good. Like, we can do all the things. Like, we can do all the things. So that means we can be light workers and we can have lots of money. So we're gonna work it out. We're gonna work some things out because I have like this, I have this map of how to play with beliefs. And I've discovered that beliefs actually stem from the deeper layers of consciousness. I'm gonna say it to you like this. We have been remembering who we are on such an enormous level. We're remembering past lives, multiple lives, like lives in the stars, right? Connecting to Pleiadian consciousness, connecting to Sirian consciousness, Orion star seeds, like star seeds, galactic beings, like we've been connecting there and we've been expanding and remembering all of this. If you're not doing it in your conscious daytime, you're doing it in your dream time. It's happening because these memories are coming back to us. Well, while that's happening, do you think that as more of your soul comes back in to your physical body, do you feel like you have the same set of rules as every other normal human being to work with? No. Because you are accessing here, right? We have expanded our consciousness. We are up here. We are no longer the normal people. We're not. You're likely all black sheeps, right? Like, we're not the normal people. We're the magical people. So we're accessing here. We're remembering here. We're expanded to here. But somehow we think these things apply to us. Why? Why are we playing by the non-magical people's rules when we have, like, do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, why do we believe this bullshit? Like, it is a bunch of bullshit. And well, sometimes that's enough. It is enough because my mentor Gary will teach you this, and please everybody go to Magical Realms because it will change your life. I will keep saying this over and over. But one of the things I learned from Gary that was epic and it changed my life is this. You have two ways that you're going to choose something in your life. One, you're going to wait for the pain to be greater and greater and greater and greater until it takes you down. It paralyzes you, it suffocates you, you just can't handle it anymore. We're getting a divorce, right? Like, until that point, you're going to just deal with it until that pain. Or, like, divorcing situations, people, friends, like, you know, businesses, this is to make a point. Or you're going to make a what? A powerful decision to change. And you're going to commit to that change. Because commitment is what's going to allow you to get to the other side and get you through your fears. Gary says commitment allows you to bypass your fears. I have been not using the word bypass because a lot of people are like, oh, you're spiritually bypassing, you're not doing your work. And I'm like, actually, it's just the opposite of that, right? Like, we're actually committing to the outcome that we want instead of waiting pain to slowly drive things. It's like, okay, fine, I'm going to do it, right? So we have a choice. We always have a choice, and that choice always comes. And you know when that choice is very evident? When people are comfortable in life and they don't move, and they stay in comfort. Because they're scared to lose and they're scared to gain, and so they're tight, right? And what they have. This is where entrepreneurs say, well, if you don't take any risk, you don't have any rewards. I don't think that's necessary. I think if you know that you're going to land supported by higher laws, that you're going to be landing in your purpose and your mission, at your edge, in your passion, in the work that you're here to do. But if you believe it at 100%, and you don't wait for this draining to happen until you decide. You jump in, you do it at 100%. The universe moves with you. Everything moves with you. But if you move at 99%, are you going to do it? Nope. So your effort at 50% or at 99% might as well be the same. If you're gonna do it, just do it, you know? This is another teaching of Gary's. If you're gonna do it at 100%. Like, commit, just one day decide. And in my world, if I am unclear, if I don't feel like I'm there yet, I don't commit, I don't think about it. I know there's something that I need to commit to, something, you know, that I gotta do, but then it's like, yeah, I'm not there yet. I don't have my vibe, it's not rising, I'm not like, I'm gonna do this, like, I'm gonna walk through fire. Like, if I'm not there, I'm not gonna do it. But if I can get myself into that higher state of consciousness, by astral travel, by doing ceremonies, by doing the things that you do, you get yourself there, you bring it back into your body, because we know about embodiment, we know somatic healing, right? We bring things back in the body. It's not so good if it just stays out there. We gotta bring it in here, right? We gotta bring it back into conscious. We gotta take the subconscious and we gotta bring it into the conscious. It's great work that we're doing. And as we remember and as we know things, now we're like, shit, I gotta do this thing. I've gotta do this thing. And you know what? The universe is gonna have my back. But you're not just going to wish it. You're gonna make a commitment. You're gonna make a decision with your heart, with your mind, with your spirit, with your soul, right? You gotta do it at 100%. People on the planet may think 100% is something different. But for us, we got our mind to get on board. We got our feelings to get on board. We got our spirit to get on board. Maybe we need to check our Akashic records to see how that's going to work out. You know, we got a lot of things to get on board. That's ultimate alignment. And that's okay, because we're playing a bigger game, and we're playing by higher rules, and we're affecting massive amounts of consciousness in the galactic systems. Like, we're affecting the whole universe. We're changing the story of how we do this, right? We're all here playing a bigger game. So, in all of this, now we understand that when we say yes to our purpose and our mission, this is possible, but this is the key. And a lot of people don't understand. It's like, I thought you were going to give me a system to make millions. Like, where is the system? That you are the system. You are the money. In fact, everybody go to my YouTube. There is a money meditation that is awesome, and it will like absolutely help you. It's called the Wealth Consciousness Meditation. So you can download my app or go to my YouTube. It's obviously just Google Starborn Human Sonia G, and then go to my playlist. If you go to YouTube, go to my playlist and go to Meditate with Me. There's some astral travels, there's some cool money stuff, there's some good motivation things. There's a lot of really good stuff. But the Wealth Consciousness Meditation, it will tell you, like, you are the money. Like, you are the money. You are the frequency that either manifests or repels, right? Your aura is recoding your reality all the time. Your aura makes the way for you. So, if we know that money is energy, we know that we are energy, we are the money. Like, it doesn't have to be that complicated. So if you're the money, and if you're walking money, like, it simplifies a lot of things in our psyche. You don't need a system. You need you at 100%, showing up at 100%. And when does that happen? When you're in your gift, when you're in your self-expression, when you're in your power, right? When you learn to hold your power, and then you translate it into cash. So here we are, we're getting here. How does that happen? You have a gift. You have a gift. Are you using it in this world? Right? You have a divine inheritance. The things that come to you in meditations, and this is a wild, wild story. Through the years, the things that come to you in meditation, I know this because I've worked with hundreds, thousands of people around the world. You get gifted things. How many people have been gifted things from cosmic beings, right? Like, here's a crystal, here's a crown, here's a mantle. You are being crowned in the astral planes. You now have a staff in the astral planes. You are holding a sword. You are meant to cut cords, right? You have these tools, you have these gifts. And like somehow they're over here, and then our businesses are like the other things, and money is over here. So we need to bring it all together, right? Like, we're bringing it all together, and we need to know that we're deserving, we're worthy, we are good enough, we're fucking phenomenal. We're the people that need to be running the planet, right? So obviously that takes work to get ourselves on board to believe that, but why not? Right? Why not? I mean, there's a lot of arguments. It's like, why not? So, through years, took me several years, I received a sequence of gifts. I received a crown. I was like, wow. I was in Gary's magical realms, and for the first time I heard group consciousness talking to me, and it freaked me out. And the only reason why it ended, like, I was like, whoa. I was in a room full of people doing cool stuff, accessing higher states of consciousness, and I was safe. I was safe, because this is Gary's genius. I was safe to where I could hear other things, right? Later I learned to do this by myself anytime I want to, but that's where it started. And I heard these beings, I'm like, no wait, I know Grandma, I know Archangel Michael, like I have my list of angels, now I know the people on the other side. You sound like a choir. Who are you? What do you want from me? And I'm one of the specific people that's not, I don't talk to spirit. I ask you, what's your name? Say your intention, say your, right? Like I'm very clear on who I'm talking to in the instruction I'm receiving. So I hear this group consciousness, and it was a Pleiadian group. And I was like, you do not get to talk to me in my head. I have rules, right? So we went through for a while, and they would tell me things, and I would write things down, and I went through training, big time. Every day, for 1 to 2 hours a day, for a solid 2 years, I showed up, and I was meditating, and I was receiving. I was like, I don't know if I can trust you, you're gonna have to tell me something. Write it down, and then, you're gonna see it published in Massive tomorrow. Are you sure? I'm gonna check the magazine, right? I'm gonna check the things. I went through a sequence of this, and then everything exploded from there. But I received gifts. I received crystals. I received swords. I received this crown that was very specific, and it built in time. So add up all of your gifts. I received this crown that translated in time to money, which is the wildest thing. So don't underestimate what you're receiving in your visions and in your dreams. Sometimes you just don't see it that way. But if energy is energy, and energy is money, and you're the money, and everything is frequency, why would it not be, right? Hopefully we're opening your mind to some things. So what I later learned is the teachings in this crown, the specific symbols, and the specific sequence of colors became my crystalline infrastructure in the astral planes. I have a system. I've created a system that has, I don't want to say healed because I feel like that's limiting, but like transformed the lives of so many around the world that is based on chakras, base of 13, all the way through 39, and then beyond. So the base is 13. Well, there were 13 stones, there were specific symbols, right? As I developed the knowledge and I understood it, and it took me 7 years when I finally decided to talk about it with the world. This was the key. Deciding, I made $500,000 the first year. And it was the teachings in the crown. It was the crown teachings. Does that sound crazy? It sounds fucking nuts. But I did it, and a lot of people are like, wait, so what is this? And I'm like, oh, this is my connection to Sirius. Do you know who connects right here? This is my other galactic tribes. This is where they link. Now, do you know what happens? I can track people in the astral planes, and I can tell you where your soul tracks to. And do you know, like, what it is to have a session with me nowadays? It's a lot, right? Like, I charge for my time because I started charging whatever, like offerings. Cool. I started charging offerings, like whatever, I'm just gonna help you out. And then, now, it's over $800 to have time with me. Do you know why? Because I've made my way, because I know how much I can do in that time. So it's not that my time is money, because that's not it to me. I've reorganized that. I mean, time is the most limited resource that we have. Money is like, goes around, money flowing everywhere. But it's what I can create in that time because of everything that I've learned, educated myself, being willing to go the distance, being willing to be the embodiment of my work, teach the teachings, create the frameworks and the infrastructure, heal the things, transcend my own limiting beliefs and these ideas, and then I've created little by little from charging $100 an hour to, like through the years and through the years. And that doesn't mean that I don't have free offerings all the time. I have a $22 masterclass that is amazing, right? On my Instagram link that talks about the new wealth currency on the planet. I have things at every price level, and people find me at every price level. So here's my invitation to you, because we have a couple of minutes, right? Whatever's standing between you and making the money that you know that you're meant to, that your spirit could do amazing things with on the planet, determine now, make a choice, commitment, to clear those up. Like, aren't you tired, right? Like, and so wherever it is that you're at, what you're charging, what you're doing, right? Let's elevate that. And it doesn't mean that you go and raise your price point. It means that you try it on. Try it on. What if I made X amount of money? What does that feel like? What if I charged for this? You'll start to get ideas. I promise you, if you commit to that at 100%, you'll start to get ideas. The ideas will be like, hey, you know what would be really cool? Is if you showed up at this place and talked to these people, you'd be like, why? But you set your intention, and your intention is taking you there. You're feeling the feeling of having $1 million year. And your feeling is affecting your frequencies. And if your thoughts are supporting that, if your feelings are supporting that, if everything in you is like, I'm trying this on. I'm trying this on, I'm gonna feel what it feels like. The ideas that you get are gonna be the ideas of the person that's bringing into the body the feeling of making $1 million. Now here's the trick. When you get the intuition and when you get the hit, like, go on the internet and make a profile on Instagram. I'm gonna die, right? When you get that, then you have to show up for it. You have to show up for it, and you have to be willing to do the things. And you have to be willing to be the example of what is possible, because no one else is gonna do this for us, right? We're all here in our unique talent and our genius. So I encourage you today to set that as a marker, right? To decide now, you know what would be freaking phenomenal, and make it something that's exciting. Because if it's not exciting, and if it's just to pay off your things, and it's just to do this, like, the little kid inside of you will not get excited. And if the little kid inside of you is not excited, you ain't going anywhere. So you gotta get on board, right? You gotta get on board with all of the voices in your head and make it exciting. So make it exciting, make it about paying off the things that have to be paid off, doing the vacation thing, and then having that overflow, right? Whatever is so exciting, and then try it on and walk around like, you know, I make 10 million a year. And then see where that takes you, okay? Before you raise the price points, before you launch things, like, try it on, okay? Go and be $1 million rock stars. Like, you got this, I believe in you. I have led hundreds of, like, incredible souls, amazing women and men. My work is primarily directed at women, but I have like 30%, I know your people. 30% of it is the divine masculine, I'm going to say. I have seen and I have coached people from like $1,000 months to $10,000 months to $30,000 months to even $100,000 months. Like, that is absolutely possible, doable, because, like, why are we putting limitations on God, the universe, and creator of all that is, and all of our angels and our guides, right? Don't do that. No limitations. So try it on, see what it feels like. I brought stickers for everybody that say Star Money Millionaire, and that's fun, because your money is not, like, it's coming from the stars. I believe that. My money came fully from the stars. And people are like, how do you know these things? I'm like, well, there was this crown that was given to me over a sequence of time that translated into this framework that then I decided to put into a course, and then it became into 25 digital courses, and now I have an app, and now I teach all over the world, and now I do retreats and really cool shit, and, like, I live the life of my dreams. Because I had the courage to go on the internet and tell people, you can meet your galactic family of light. You know, like, and I thought I was gonna die. Like, and it all worked out, and we're here, right? And now there's a billboard with my face on it on Sunset Boulevard in freaking Los Angeles. Like, oh my God, that like really happened. So thank you. Go binge my Instagram. If this is for you, go binge my Instagram. There is so much on my Instagram. Binge through my YouTube channel. Like, message me. I live on the Instagram. Send me a DM, as we call it. you know, or go to my YouTube. But there's so many resources. Just start unraveling this. And if any of the higher offerings that I have call you, get in there. Man, I teach about like next level what, and you'd be like, what? You're talking about the emerald flame, bioharmonic, like biological resurrection? Yes. I have wild next level teachings, and I believe that those teachings will find you when it's time. Okay, so I'm not here to blow out anybody's nervous systems, but I know that if you get to know me and if you start hanging around in my vibe, you'll be like, you know what? This crazy thing you just called the astral travel to Andromeda, like, calls me. So you'll know, just trust yourself. I believe in you. Come and get a Star Money Millionaire sticker, and I will see you all soon. Thank you.
You are awesome.
This was fun. I never even read my notes. Look at that.
So cool.
Perfect.